Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of the stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, the bright lights of Broadway just to the east of us, and we are on it. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Ready, break.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Ready.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. After the sack on 1st down, Rudolph. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. He'll get this complete to Batson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Bell, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A first down carry for Bell, but he'll work forward for only about a yard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right?
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Tackle made by Tyus Bowser.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. You got 3 down.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rudolph looking to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And now it's second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I'm going back to you.
This is Bell. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1. Of the season. We'll be back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that's complete to Croft. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 37 yards, and the Bills have retaken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rudolph setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rudolph. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't try to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rudolph. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On first down, it's Darnold. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Bell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They're going to run the jet sweep on third down. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And this one is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Rudolph. And that's complete. It's Green here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. First down, here's the run with Cook. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Bell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. First carry for James Conner. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme, when you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Quick strip, the ball's out, and the Jets have recovered.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offense...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Check. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. A first down throw, Darnold to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Here we go, son. 51. No, 80. Whip. Watch the whip.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an out.
Now Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now Austin. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with counter, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Now Darnold, and that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Rudolph now to throw. And that is incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets will extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet 1st down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. On second down now, it's Connor. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blow. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Darnold now to throw.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Rudolph. Catch made here by Campbell. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Rudolph. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to the air, Rudolph on 2nd down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They'll run for it. Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Campbell making the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Man left. Hey, we got 3 down. Check the
They go play action here on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A.J. Green there to make the grab. And the Bills cut into that lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Watch the curl.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Jets, they start the campaign with a victory in front of an enthusiastic home crowd for